Friends, near a village named Neem Jayan, there was a dense forest where many kinds of animals and birds lived. On the edge of this forest lived a widow in a small hut. Her name was Meghna. Meghna was about 25 to 30 years old, and her husband had died a year ago from a severe illness. Meghna now had no support. She collected firewood from the forest and did some sewing and knitting in the village to make a living somehow. She was beautiful, but her eyes carried a deep sadness because the villagers mocked her loneliness due to her beauty. However, Meghna never took anyone's words to heart. For her, life now meant nothing more than fulfilling daily needs and somehow getting through the days. One day, Meghna was collecting firewood in the forest when a big monkey suddenly climbed down from a nearby tree and sat in front of her. Meghna was a little frightened to see the monkey. But when the monkey didn't attack and just kept staring at her, she felt a little relieved. Meghna slowly looked at him and said, "Who are you? What do you want?" As soon as she said this, the monkey lowered its head as if it understood her words. Meghna smiled slightly and continued with her work. The monkey stayed there, watching her. When Meghna started tying her bundle of wood, the monkey came forward and helped her. Meghna was astonished. She patted the monkey's head gently and said, "You are very smart." From that day onwards, the monkey came to Meghna daily. Sometimes he brought fruits for her, sometimes helped her with chores. Sometimes he would sit outside her hut and play until evening. A new color had entered Meghna's life. A smile returned to her lips. Over time, an unusual bond developed between Meghna and the monkey. Whenever Meghna felt lonely, the monkey tried to make her laugh. When she was sad, he would sit beside her with his head resting on her shoulder. Meghna now considered him part of her family. One night, Meghna was sitting outside her hut, enjoying the moonlight, when she saw the monkey sitting on a tree branch nearby, looking at her. Meghna looked at him and smiled. "Will you always stay with me?" she asked. The monkey jumped down softly and sat at her feet. Meghna picked him up at her lap and lovingly stroked his head. That night, for the first time, Meghna did not feel lonely. Time kept passing, and their bond grew stronger. One day, Meghna fell ill with a high fever. She was lying inside her hut while the monkey sat beside her, worried. He brought several kinds of fruits from the forest and placed them before her. Meghna opened her eyes with difficulty and said in a soft voice, "Why do you care for me so much?" The monkey looked into her eyes, and in his gaze was deep affection, a love beyond words. Meghna gently held the monkey's hand and fell asleep. The monkey stayed by her side all night. A few days later, Meghna fully recovered. Now she couldn't live without the monkey, even for a moment. They had become inseparable. Meghna now firmly believed this monkey was no ordinary creature. There was something soulful about him, like an old spirit had returned to be part of her life. One night, it was raining heavily. Meghna sat inside her hut while the monkey came and sat beside her. In a flash of lightning, Meghna noticed the monkey's eyes were glowing brightly. She stroked his head and said, "Will you always stay with me?" The monkey gently rested his head on her lap. Tears rolled down Meghna's eyes. She felt that the emptiness in her life was now filled. That night she held the monkey close to her chest, and for the first time felt a strange sense of intimacy, as if she had found someone after ages. Time went on, but now Meghna started feeling strange changes in her body. She began feeling nauseous. Her appetite increased, and slowly her body started changing. Worried, she went to the village midwife. After examining her, the midwife said, "Meghna, you are pregnant." Meghna was stunned. She said, "How is this possible? I have no husband." The midwife looked into her eyes and calmly said, "But this is the truth, my child." Meghna was in turmoil. On her way back, she kept wondering, how is this possible? She remembered that night when she had let the monkey sleep beside her and had felt a deep peace and strange intimacy. Could it be possible that the monkey was the reason for this? She was terrified and confused. Now Meghna looked at the monkey every day, but fear and hesitation had taken over her mind. The monkey behaved the same as before, helping her, bringing fruits, collecting wood. But Meghna was haunted by questions. Was this love, a miracle, or a curse? Was the monkey an ordinary animal, or a god, or a cursed soul? Meghna had no answers. Eventually, the news spread in the village that Meghna was pregnant. The villagers began gossiping. How can a widow have a child? It must be a sin. Maybe a demon from the forest visits her. Meghna was distressed. She knew she had never been with a man. Yet this pregnancy, how could it be possible? The same thought haunted her, that rainy night when she had held the monkey in her lap. After that, her body started changing. One day, Meghna sat outside her hut. The monkey sat on a tree branch nearby, watching her. Meghna looked at him and asked, "Do you know what's happening to me?" The monkey kept staring into her eyes. In his gaze was the same glow as that night. Tears welled up in Meghna's eyes. "I loved you," she whispered. "But how is it possible that you became the reason for my child?" When the villagers learned of Meghna's pregnancy, there was an uproar. The village council summoned her. The chief asked harshly, "Meghna, tell the truth. Who is the father of your child?" Meghna stood silently, head bowed. After a moment, she softly said, "I don't know." The council accused her of lying. How can a woman conceive without a man? Some women said, she must have had a secret affair. Meghna gathered courage and said, "No man ever came into my life, but there is a monkey who stays with me every day, helps me, and supports me." The chief laughed. "Are you saying a monkey made you pregnant?" The villagers roared with laughter. But Meghna's face was serious. She said, "I never had any relations with anyone. But it's true that since the monkey entered my life, everything changed." The villagers considered her cursed and unchaste. Women stopped talking to her. Children no longer played near her hut. Meghna was now completely alone. Fear gripped her heart. How would she raise her child in this world? One day, a saintly sage came to the village. People told him about Meghna's situation. The sage called Meghna to him and said, "The child in your womb is no ordinary child. It is the result of a special soul. Was there any animal associated with you?" Meghna lowered her head and softly said, "Yes, a monkey came into my life. He cared for me, but now he's gone." The sage sighed deeply and said, "That monkey was no ordinary creature. He was a divine soul cursed to take the form of a monkey. But when he experienced love with you, his curse was broken." Meghna stared at the sage in astonishment. "Is this child really divine?" The sage replied seriously, "Yes. This child is a symbol of the union of man and beast. But with his birth will come great danger. This child will have to fight for his existence." Meghna trembled and asked, "What kind of danger?" The sage answered, "This child will possess extraordinary powers, but forces of darkness will try to destroy him. You must protect him at all costs." Meghna's eyes reflected fear and anxiety. She asked, "But where did the monkey go?" The sage said, "He has returned to his true form and attained divinity. But when danger comes, he will return to help you." Days passed, and Meghna's pregnancy advanced. The villagers still looked at her with suspicion, but Meghna now had a new strength within her. She believed she could protect her child. One day, as Meghna was collecting wood in the forest, a terrifying sound came from the dense trees. A huge black serpent stood before her, hood raised. Terrified, Meghna stepped back, but the snake advanced. She closed her eyes in fear. Suddenly, the air stirred. When Meghna opened her eyes, the monkey stood before her, eyes blazing with light. He leaped at the serpent and struck it hard. The snake hissed and vanished into the darkness. Meghna stared in shock as the monkey looked at her with deep affection, then ran back into the forest. Meghna now understood her child was not ordinary. That sudden appearance and protection were proof that something great was destined. Finally, the time came. One stormy night, as Meghna suffered labor pains, a dark figure appeared outside her hut, a man clad in black, holding a trident. His eyes glowed with cruelty. "The child in your womb is no ordinary being," he said. "It is a symbol of power. I have come to take it." Meghna asked in terror, "Who are you?" The man roared with laughter. "I am the demon Kalki. That divine soul who impregnated you is my enemy. I will destroy this child before it is born. Meghna trembled. You cannot harm my child. Kalkitu sneered. You cannot stop me. He hurled his trident at her. Meghna closed her eyes in fear. Suddenly, a mighty roar shook the air. The monkey appeared, eyes blazing with fire. He caught the trident midair and hurled it back, striking Kalkitu's chest. A fierce battle began between the monkey and the demon. The earth shook, lightning flashed. At last, the monkey struck Kalkitu down. His body burned and turned to ash. The monkey came to Meghna, his eyes calm and loving. She whispered, "Who are you?" The monkey placed his hand on hers, and his body radiated a golden light, transforming into a handsome divine youth. "I am Arshi's son," he said. "I was cursed to live as a monkey until I proved true love. Your love freed me." Meghna, overwhelmed, said, "Then why did you leave me?" He replied, "To test your strength, and you proved your love." He smiled, "But now a greater trial awaits. The child you bear will protect the balance of the world. You must guard him." The youth embraced Meghna one last time and said, "When danger comes, I will return." He transformed back into the monkey and vanished into the forest. Meghna gave birth to a glowing child, a symbol of the union of human and divine. From that day, villagers who once shamed her began worshiping her. Meghna raised her son with love and courage, knowing he was destined for greatness. And in her heart, she knew the divine monkey, her protector and love, would always return when needed. Friends, this was the story of a widow and a monkey. How did you like it? Leave a sweet comment and let us know. If you enjoyed the story, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Jai Mata Di. OM.